Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. In today's video, we got a bunch of hat sales, but also we take a big risk, a chance on something we haven't done in a couple of years. We went retail arbitrage shopping to see if it's dead or not. I've heard a lot of people say that you can't really do it anymore. I wanted to go out we went to Marshall's and then we went to Ross, just looking for any items out there, either on the clearance racks or the regular racks too, to see if there's items that we could flip for a profit. We did find a few items. In the middle of the video, you'll see the items that we picked up from Marshall's and Ross, and then a few items that we got from the Goodwill. And at the end of the video, what we did is we went ahead and listed these items on Saturday, and then I did the video on Monday of what had sold. We'd already sold a few of these items and got decent returns, but it's still a pretty big risk when you're retail arbitrage shopping, because you have to put a little bit more capital into these new items, and so it can be a little more risky than just going to the thrift store. But let's go inside the garage, see what sold, and then we'll see what we sourced. All right, guys, let's ship out some hats. I will be honest, it was not the greatest sales weekend, but we still have some really cool hats going out. Shipping about 50 hats out over the weekend here. It's really cold out here in the garage, but I have a shameless plug of a Hat House hoodie that's keeping me awfully warm today. But let's see what's up first. All right, first up was this Los Angeles Dodgers American Needle. Really cool. Had the leather sweatband in it. Leather strap back. Still had the tags on it. This one was really different. All right, it said that it was made by American Needle, but also had a Lucky brand tag on it. And it went out for $28 plus shipping. Really cool hat. Really cool sale right here. Next up was this Columbia hat. It went out for $12. Just a regular strap back Columbia. Pretty clean. Gray and black. Next up was this vintage fleece kind of winter hat. Had the ear flaps on it. Polar Tech. It went out for $18. I'm afraid that it's not going to get there in time for the current freeze. But hopefully it stays a little cool and we can sell the rest of our winter hats. Next up was this 10 deep 5-panel hat. It went out for $13. It was really cool. Had the kind of big spell out on the side. Super clean on the inside. Next up was this regular Patagonia with the mesh foam, kind of trucker women's. It went out for $10. Next up was this really nice vintage trucker. Had the full foam intact. Went out for $20. It said Peterson cat on it. They got a pretty good deal on this hat. And the foam was still in excellent shape. Next up was this Huff hat. It went out for $10. Had the triangle logo on it. It was kind of a maroon color. Regular snapback Huff hat. Next up was this really cool Outdoor Research, kind of a fleece winter lightweight hat, if you can have all of that in one. It went out for $20. Strap back Outdoor Research. Next up, I don't get to show you the beanies we sell all the time because I usually go on Mary's side, but just a regular Winnie the Pooh beanie went out for $15. Next up was just a Nike Featherlight lightweight hat. It went out for $12. Was kind of missing the logo on the side here, and the tag on the inside was non-existent. So glad with this sale, $12. One that did go out on Mary's side that I didn't want to show you. This is just a Patagonia beanie, but it was the vintage. It went out for $28. It just looks like a regular beanie hat. I do want you to be on the lookout for these because as far as beanie goes, $30-ish sales price is really good on beanies, so be on the lookout. And a Metropolitan Museum of Art hat went out for $10. Had the cool back hit, the Metropolitan spell out on the back, regular dad hat. Next up was a really cool Nike hat. Went out for $20 on this one. Kind of the bluish, heathered, with a nice big embroidered swoosh on it. Was super clean on the inside, almost like new. Had the leather strap back, $20 on this one. Next up was a Salty Crew hat. Went out for $18 on this one. Had the nice patch on it. Super clean on the inside. Salty Crew. Next up, buyer got a really good deal on this one. $15 for this hunting hat. It did have all these pins on it, which were probably worth more than that if you took them all off. But really clean hunting hat. $15. All right, next up was this really cool WWF World Wrestling Federation hat right here. Went out for $49. Second time we've sold this hat. The first buyer, I guess, didn't realize that the foam was gone, but we took pictures of it and then took extra pictures of it, kind of showing this part right here, the crown of the hat. And it sold again because these are really collectible. And there's some on the market that are a little bit better condition that have the foam that are priced up around $70 to $100. But I took $50 for mine, didn't have the foam, still in very clean shape. So great hat. Always be on the lookout for WWF stuff. It sells really good. Next up was a regular Nike hat, and I think this was on our it's one I found at Goodwill the other day. It went out for $19 international. I told you it'd sell for $20. I was wrong, or told you it'd sell for $15. I was wrong. It went for almost $20. Just a regular gray with the swoosh Nike hat. Got this one at the Goodwill for $3. Next up was a Salt Life hat. This kind customer already messaged me this morning, asked me when it's going to ship out on this snowy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I respectfully replied that I will get it out as soon as possible just for you. So $10. Sorry, your $7 hat is on the way. Next up was a really nice Vans hat. Guess I just had it for a while, and red does not sell that well. If you either got red hats or red clothing, can take forever to sell, and I don't know why. I guess a lot of guys just don't wear a lot of red unless it's, I don't know. But this one took forever to sell, $8. I thought it was a really cool hat with the big logo on it, and it was super clean, but sometimes they just slip through, and I wouldn't recommend getting red on just basic hats. All right, next up was this vintage flat cap by Columbia. It was even Gore-Tex. These do not sell for that much. This one, there are flat caps that sell okay, but this isn't really a style or type that does. This one only went for $11. Has a circle sticker on it, so I know I've had it for over a year, probably. So I'm glad this one's going out. All right, guys, we're still on the hunt for some inventory. Still got a few more days until we get some hats in the list, but we're on the hunt right now, and we decided to go to...
We're at Marshall's and Ross. We saw Whatnot the other night, and they were obviously selling stuff that they had found, and we're going to check ours out and see if we can find anything.
Yeah, I have kind of a rule for brand new with tag stuff. We'll see how well it works out in the real world, but I've noticed from reselling that a lot of the brand new with tag stuff, it sells for about half of whatever the MSRP is. So if it has a price for $90 on the tag that it originally sold for, or the original MSRP is for, then it sells for around $40 to $45. So I think we're going to kind of narrow stuff down by looking for stuff that is... So if it's $90, it would have to be about $20 to even make a profit on brand new stuff. Because if we sold it for $40, that would still only be about a $10 profit. So we're going to go ahead here. We're going to look around in Marshall's and Ross and see what we can find. As we were headed in, we were pretty excited. We shop at Marshall's every now and then, but haven't really had the lens in the store as to finding items that we could flip onto eBay and other marketplaces. And then we did notice that it had a sale sign as soon as we got there. So let's see what we got. All right, guys, we went to a Marshall's, like you saw, and then right next door to it was the Ross. We went to it too. And then we ended up stopping at a Goodwill as well, and I found me a pair of shoes, but I'll show you those. We really didn't find a lot there, but we'll show you what we got, and we'll go through the stuff from Marshall's too. And retail arbitrage, we used to do it a little more 2 or 3 years ago, so we're kind of out of that game a little bit, but we really wanted to get some inventory to list this weekend, and we kind of went on feel about if we thought it would sell. We looked a few things up while we were in the store, and a few things we just kind of bought because we knew that they might sell. So let's go through them. All right, first let's look at the hats that we got. I did get 4 Nike hats, 4 OU Nike hats. These were $10 a piece. I'm pretty confident that they'll sell for around $25. That's the sticker price that was on them, and I'm pretty confident that can make about 15 bucks a piece on those. After the fees and stuff, about $10 a piece probably. But really nice white Nike hats, brand new with tags. That was a really good find, and it is the Heritage, the Nike Dry Fit. Those will do good. And then also at Ross, I happened to find, I know these Puma hats, they sell pretty well with the big P on them, the golf Puma hats. These were both $10 as well. This one has a sticker price of $30, and I know it'll probably be around a $25 hat. And this one, it had a sticker price of $30 as well. And I know that these hats will sell 25 bucks, pretty easy, especially brand new with tags. Pretty happy with those. And then at the Goodwill, I did find another one of these hats. If you watched our last video, I know what it is now. This is a Travis Scott Tooltopia. So it was his Utopia tour that he came through in Tulsa. Travis Scott hat. I actually might not list this one until I get the other one sold, just because I want there to be a little bit of scarcity on the market. I don't want another one out there. But I priced the other one up quite a bit because I had the only one, to see if I get any hits. But we'll see how it goes. Glad I found that one too. I think at least I marked it up to like $100 just to see what happens. Maybe I'm crazy, but I would take 20 or 30 bucks probably for this corduroy hat eventually, since I have the only one. And just a OSU, Oklahoma State Cowboys Nike hat at the Goodwill. And somebody asked for the prices. The hats at Goodwill are $2.99, so $3 for both those hats. And the other ones from Ross and Marshall's, the brand new ones, they were $10. All right, next up were these Nike belts. I just got these based on a feel. These are reversible. This one was white, and this one's sorry. I have a white and a black one, but this one was brown and black. The sticker price on them is $38. They were like $12. I'm pretty confident that I can get about 30 bucks for these belts. I looked them up on eBay. A lot of the brand new Nike belts were selling between 25 and 30. I didn't see any reversible ones on a quick check that I had, but I think I can sell these belts. I didn't see a white one and a reversible black either. I think Nike belts will do pretty good. What do you guys think? I got 4 of them. There were a few more there. I'm gonna kind of test the waters on some Nike belts and see how well they do. We've sold a few belts in the past, and they sold pretty quickly, and they were used belts. But we'll see how these go. I'm pretty confident. Let me know what you guys think.
Okay, next we found a spider jacket. It was a size large. We paid $18 for it. The price on the tag is $129. We're gonna try to get at least 40 or 50 out of it. So it was really nice. Steven found that one. We actually paid less for a brand new one than they have at Goodwill. They have them priced at Goodwill for almost $25. So next we found a Lucky Brand shacket. It's Sherpa lined plaid. We got it for $18 also, and the price on the tag is $169. So we're hoping to get at least 40 or 50 out of this one also. It's really nice. The lady that was checking this out even made a comment on it about how nice it was. So next we found a Polo Ralph Lauren, or the RLX jacket. It was size extra large, which I said last time is a really good size. It's a performance fabric. It's really nice. We did pay up for this one. We paid about $30. The price on the tag is $198. So hopefully we can get about, I would say 50, 60 for it. Next we found 2 DKNY quarter zips. Really nice fabrics. We paid $10. We found one in black and another one in beige. And the price, I don't know if this one has a price on it or not, is it? Yeah. The price on the tag is $79.50. Next we found another RLX. This one's women's swim wear, almost like a cover up. It was on clearance for $4.49. And new with tags, RLX, I mean, we would at least get 20 for it. So $5, can't beat it. Next was an Aeropostale sleepwear. It was $6. The price on the tag, $46. So I would say we could at least get 20 for it. for $6. Next we got this Adidas crew neck sweatshirt for $10. The price on the tag is $55, so hopefully we can get $30 for it. Next we found some NFL shirts. I think there was one short sleeve and the other ones are long sleeve. They were $6 a piece, $7, and the price on the tags on these were $40, $45. Can't beat new tag NFL. Next we found this spider shirt. It's rash guard, surf, sand, and sun. We sell quite a few of their fishing shirts. They usually do really well. New with tags. We got it for $10. Can't beat it. All right, we also found some Peloton resistant bands, new in the box. We paid $17 for these. I couldn't look them up on eBay. I looked them up on Poshmark, and there were some that sold for $65. And the majority of them sold around $40 to $45, so hopefully we can get somewhere between there. I also picked up some Peloton yoga block for $6. I looked this one up also. The ones that had 2 blocks were going for around $35, $40. This one's only 1. I saw a few of them sold on Poshmark for about $20, so $6, we'll see.
Then I picked up this Tommy John. It's kind of a loungewear shirt, kind of a sleep shirt almost, but it had the buttons. Tommy John is a great brand, and I think we paid $16 for this one. With new with tags, a lot of the Tommy John stuff goes really well. I think I'll be able to get probably $30 to $40 at least for this one. Maybe double the money, maybe triple, but I'm gonna start it at around $40 or $50. The MSRP on it is $75, so I think $40 to $50 would be reasonable. All right, that was pretty much everything from the Marshalls and the Ross stop. We did get a few things at the old Goodwill, and we're gonna make sure to tell you the prices on the Goodwill stuff this time too. We didn't last time, but really the breakdown is most of the hats are $2.99. The shirts are what, $5.99?
The polo shirts are $5.99. T-shirts are $3.99. Long sleeved are $5.99 to $7.99.
Yeah, you just kind of got to look at the prices on those. And sweaters and stuff are what, $6.49?
I think so.
Most of it is between $5 to $7, and nothing. We don't usually pick up anything that is marked up over that.
First was a polo golf vest. It actually has a little golfer on it, and it was $3.99. This next one was $6.49. It was a new with tags. I don't really know the brand that well.
Cool.
Yeah. It's 100% cashmere. Can't go wrong with cashmere, and it's new with tags. And then we also got another polo, brown. I don't know how well brown will do. It was $6.49, just a quarter zip pullover. And a new with tags Tommy Hilfiger sweater, and how much was it? $6.49.
These two I picked up. This was a pretty cool vintage jacket that I happened to come across. It was $8.99 for the jacket. It was NRA, National Rifle Association's, I assume like a life member jacket. Definitely is vintage, made in the USA for NRA. I didn't look it up, so kind of taking a shot on it. I thought it was really cool, kind of a shooting jacket that has the patches on the arms. I thought it would do really well, and it is a size large, I believe. So pretty cool little vintage jacket. And then I picked this up too. I know that a lot of this is Majestic. This one's kind of older and vintage. These are kind of like baseball warm-ups. They do pretty well between $20 to $30. This one was $5.99 on this. Boston Red Sox Majestic, kind of baseball, long sleeve, warm-up. They do really well. And last up was my personal again. I happened to find some new shoes. I've been looking for a while. Mary almost talked me into paying $100 for a new pair of shoes a couple weeks ago. But I found some Nike Air Max for $25 at the Goodwill. My size and everything. Tried them on. They will work beautifully for me. And I just needed some new tennis shoes. Pretty good condition. Not a whole lot of wear on the bottom. And that'll work. All right, guys. That was everything that we got today. We're going to get busy getting it listed. Some of the things like the Peloton, we will not put it on eBay. We'll just put it on the Poshmark and the Macari probably. Peloton can be a Vero, so especially the new stuff. So we want to kind of avoid eBay with that. I think everything else we'll put on eBay as well. We're going to cross list all of this, all of these items as soon as we list them too. Especially the ones that we have multi quantities on, like the belts and the hats. We're going to put them on the other site to try to get them sold as quickly as possible. But let me know what you guys thought of this haul. And do you guys think that retail arbitrage is dead? Because it's been kind of tough out there. We've looked a couple of times, but we haven't gotten into it real serious like we have in the past. And a lot of people have said it's really hard to do retail arbitrage anymore. And I'll be interested to see if we get the prices we think we're going to on these. All right, next up is another hat you want to be on the lookout for. This is a Fozzie Bear Waka Waka. Went for $35. This Disney hat, pretty sure it was like sold out in the Disney store. So $35, great price on, who is it? Fozzie Bear. Next up, just a basic vintage winter fleece hat with kind of the suede bill on it. Fleece went for $14. Next up was this nice The North Face, had the big T and F spell out on it. Went for a little over $20 on this hat. Really cool hat right here. It was a flex fit too. Next up was a Hurley hat, went out for $9. Next up was this America We Grow beer, had a really big patch on it. I thought it'd sell for a little more, but it did have kind of some sweat staining on it. Went out for $9. Yeah, it was kind of rough on the inside too, but really cool hat, but only $9. Next up was a Seattle Mariners hat, went out for $9 as well. Made a repeat customer a good deal on this one. It was a medium, and they were such a good customer, I gave them a good price cut on this one. Next up was this Holland Clothing 5-panel hat. Went out for $10. Had this one for a while. I don't think this is a very desirable brand, or this style would usually get a little bit more, but glad it's going out. Next up was a lot of Adidas hats. These went out for $36 for 3 black Adidas hats, all dad hats, strap back. Really good deal here. Always love selling hats in a lot like this. $36, you can't complain about that. Next up was a Florida Gators women's hat. This was The Game 3-bar. Went out for $10. Next up was this Budweiser. Went out for $9. Had this one forever. It was Kevin Harvick, Budweiser. Still had the tags. I am not a huge NASCAR hat guy. I never really come across that many that sell for that good of a sales price. They will sell, but it's never that great of a sales price. I think there's just a lot on the market, and they do a little better when the season is on. But I thought this was a really cool hat, and for sitting in my store for a year and then finally sell for like $9, kind of disappointing. All right, next up, guys, what do you do in this situation? I went to pick up this hat. It dropped, it fell, and then I broke the button off of it when it fell. It hit the ground. I guess it's so cold that everything's just snapping right off. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and send the hat. Then I'm going to give them a refund, send them a message, let them know, hey, I know it's not as described. I know it's not the way it was in the pictures, but I actually broke it when I dropped it. But I went ahead and sent you the hat and gave you a refund, just to take care of the customer in case they still wanted the hat. Maybe they don't want it at all, but they got a free hat basically because I dropped it. Next up was a polo hat with a flag on it. Want to be on the lookout for these. I don't know how well you can see it in the lighting that I have here, but there is a lot of yellowing on this hat. So it only went out for $21. Some polo hats with flags and stuff on them can be well over $50, $100 sometimes. You always want to look these up. Mine was pretty yellow, so I took the $20 and I had it for a while. All right, next up was this USA Olympics hat. Went out for $9. Super clean, didn't really have a brand. So this was not the most desirable USA. And a lot of the Olympic truckers really honestly do not go for that much. This one was still pretty cool and still took forever and went for $9. Next up was this Texaco hat, vintage Texaco rope hat. Went out for $12, super clean white. It didn't have a patch, it was just embroidered, so went for a little less. Next up was this Jerry Garcia hat. It was pretty distressed. I think it's in really good condition. These can go for more. It had this distressing on the bill right here, and it was just had a lot of creases, and it was kind of a fitted hat. It went for $14. Next up was this Oregon Ducks Nike hat. Went out for $12. Super clean, had the mesh back. This is a little different than you usually see. The good thing about the Oregon Ducks is they have the biggest array of Nike merchandise in the world. So it's really cool to see all the different Ducks hats that come through. Next up was this Disney hat. Went for $13. Pretty good sales price for a Disney hat. Had this kind of felt patch on it. Really cool hat. Next up was the Oregon State Beavers hat. This one went for $13. Even though it was a little distressed, it was older. It had this beaver logo on the front. $13. Next up was this Vertex. This is like a hunting optical like scope brand. It went out for $15. Pretty good sales price on this one. Next up was this Rosalind Bulldogs, and I don't even know who the Rosalind Bulldogs are. I do know that a script hat that looks like this you can price it up a little bit. I declined many a $10 offers for this hat. Finally, I took an offer for $22 on this one. It was faded, but it was vintage. Had this skinny snap on the back. Really cool script hat right here. Next up was this vintage Chicago White Sox hat. It was on the Diamond Collection. Pretty rough shape. Went out for $12 and going international. Next up was this Florida Gator snapback. It was kind of brown, different. Went for $11. It was by Top of the World. Next up, a cool funny trucker. If you don't like country music, kiss my ass. $14. Next up was a vintage Jeep rope hat. I was really surprised. Nobody wanted this one. I had it for a long time. I took $12 on Depop. It was really cool, 4x4 Jeep. Next up, went out on Poshmark, a combined order. We had a Cowboys hat, really cool. That's a tail sweep logo on it. And then just some Adidas shorts. Went out for like $20 on Poshmark. They got a good deal. Next up was that Minnesota Twins hat. I thought I was going to try to get like 30 or 40 on my live. Everybody told me they were only going for around 20. Minnesota Twins fans are cheap. And you were right, $22 finally for the Twins hat. It's going out. And $11 hat right here on the Boston Red Sox basic dad hat. It was kind of older, probably Y2K. Going out on Depop, $11. All right, guys, so give us a thumbs up for sitting out here and freezing our butts off in the garage. Going to give you an update, though, on how we did on the Marshalls haul. So to be completely honest, we listed everything on Saturday night, and we just didn't put it on eBay. We went ahead and put it on to Depop, Mercari, and Poshmark all at the same time, just so we'd have a better chance of selling it, and I could kind of get you to what they were selling for and get some items sold before we did this video. So we did give them maximum exposure on the items, but some of them had really good selling price, and we made some decent money on these items already in just a couple of days of having them out there on the market. So I would say so far, the Marshalls retail arbitrage is going pretty good. Mary's going to give us some of the sales prices that we've had so far on some of those items you saw earlier that we picked up at Marshalls.
First, we have the NFL t-shirt. This was the long sleeve t-shirt. We paid $6 for it, and it sold for about $20 with shipping. Next, we had the RLX. This was a women's. This was the one that I only paid $4.50 for. It was on the clearance aisle. We actually sold it for $43. Then we also have the crew neck Adidas sweatshirt that we bought for $16, and we ended up selling it for $33.
That was on Mercari.
The first two were on eBay. This is the next one. It was on Depop. It was the DKNY. It was a quarter zip. Yeah.
Sweater.
We paid $10 for it, and it sold for around $34. So not bad.
$34 on Depop.
This was not from the Marshalls haul. This was actually from Goodwill. So we paid $6 for it. $6.50, somewhere around there. This one actually sold on Depop also, and it sold for $29.
Without shipping. $34 with the shipping. So that was a really good sale too. We sold some other things from the Goodwill haul. I just didn't have them all together. Okay, I did find the other two items that sold from the Goodwill haul that we showed you about a week ago. The polo with new tags button up sold $25. It's going out today as well. And then also that polo sweater, that was really nice, big knit polo sweater. It went out for $35. And like everything on our channel, you can add shipping on top for that. But you can kind of see that 4 items out of all those that we sold, neither one of us guessed correctly on the first one to sell. I really thought I would sell a belt. I'm kind of disappointed a belt hadn't sold. One of those Nike belts was really cool. And I turned down an offer I probably should have took on one of the Puma hats that you saw, the blue Puma hat. Somebody offered me $20 on Poshmark for it. I paid $10 for the hat. I really think I can get $24-ish for it, but maybe I should have just went ahead and took their $20 offer. Only time will tell. Sometimes when you decline those offers, you regret it. But we'll see, and we're going to keep doing these types of videos. If you want to see more of kind of retail arbitrage, hopefully if it ever warms up around here, we'll get out to a garage sale every now and then. But we have got maybe exciting news. I don't even know if I should tell you. We might have another lead on a good hat supplier. So there was this guy that I used to buy hats from when we first started selling hats, and he had some really great hats. He text messaged me last week, and he was like, are you still in the hat game? And I said, yes, I would love hats. And he was like, okay, I think I'm back in to where he can get supply on hats. So just waiting for him to text me back. He had some really good ones last time. Be really exciting. But we will try to get to, my whole point was I got a lot of stuff coming in, but we're still going to try to get out every now and then to do things like Goodwill, retail arbitrage, and get to some garage sales when it warms up a little bit, because I think those are fun for the video as well, and it's always fun to go out and hunt. We like hunting as much as you guys do, but we'll try to do it as much as we can, and all the support you guys can give us by subscribing, because about 40% of you guys out there watch these videos but don't hit the subscribe button. So I need you to hit the subscribe button, please. And then like this video, comment down below that you want to see more of this type of content, and we'll get it to you. Appreciate you guys.